What's good? What's good? I'm back. Yours truly, the one and only Paul Pickett, host of the Paul Pickett Podcast, episode 145. Before we get started, don't forget the video version of this podcast goes to YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TV, Rumble, and I'll also take the video and I'll stream it live on 3 of my Twitter accounts: Twitter at Paul P Podcast, Twitter at Paul W Pickett, and Twitter at Promo Palace LLC. And sometimes we alternate that to Twitter Anycast on Twitter Urban Obsessions. Keep content going through them as well. Definitely follow me on Rumble because videos are monetized from day one, unlike YouTube, which requires 4,000 watch hours and 1,000 subscribers. Don't forget the audio version goes to Spotify, Apple, Amazon, Deezer, TuneIn, Stitcher, Slacker, iHeartRadio, Player FM, and much, much more. I'm going to go ahead and pull up this NBA.com. We're going to go over last night's game, and we're going to get into Nick Saban, the hot topic of the sports world today. And before I do that, we want to give you a word from one of our sponsors. So we're going to go ahead and upload a video into the system. We're going to give you a word from one of our sponsors. There we go.
Me and my team, whenever we link up, they wanna be drink up. We still gonna relax and have few glasses when there's things to think about. Like I'm nice with the boss when I tend to the bars and I'm not talking drink ups. So tell the bartender that's tend to the bar to please pass me a big cup up. And tell the waitress that's waiting on us to put a little ice in it. Now watch the ice become weightless like the spaceships that I be sitting in. Now wait and listen, they're waiting for that tropical twist that'll take your taste buds. Now taste some. Now I insist it's the Dizzle.
It's the Dizzle. That's right, DizzleBrand.com. Dizzle Premium Luxury Liqueur, a mixture of agave tequila, cognac, and orange liquor mango mix. Go to DizzleBrand.com. You can get the merch. They got the hats. They got the T-shirts. They got the sweatshirts, the hoodies. Check them out, DizzleBrand.com. Click on store if you want the merchandise. If you like to buy your very own bottle of Dizzle Brand Premium Luxury Liqueur, go to DizzleBrand.com, click on our locations, click on one of the top 3 links. Make sure you're 21 and over. Shipping and handling is included. You can get your very own bottle or bottles of Dizzle Brand Premium Luxury Liqueur. Do you Dizzle? Yes, I Dizzle. I got a bottle on my refrigerator right now. All right, let me pull up this NBA scores. I'm going to go of the defensive players of the first team and second team. Last night, of course, Dallas lost to Golden State, but Dallas have the lead on Golden State, and they pretty much blew it. You know, you got 21 points from Reggie Bullock, 10 from Dorian Finney-Smith, 31 from Jalen Brunson, 42 from Luka, but Luka was a negative 12. Bullock had 21, but he was a negative 7. The only one that was a plus that balled out was really Brunson. Dinwiddie didn't show up. That's another thing. Dinwiddie ain't showed up. So I don't know if Dallas is clearly out of this, but you got a lot of balance from Golden State, because any other time you got 42, 31, and 21 from 3 starters, you should win the game. But then you got 16 from Wiggins, 21 from Looney, 15 from Clay, 32 from Curry, 23 from Jordan Poole, and 11 from Otto Porter. They had 6 dudes double figures when Dallas had 4, and that's the difference. Dallas need 2 more guys to show up, and they didn't. They just didn't. And I hope this is, I hope Dallas can win next game, make it an interesting series. But if Dallas doesn't win next game, this series is completely over. And then tonight's game is Miami and Boston. It's in Boston. Miami's got to at least win one of the 2 in Boston. I don't know, man. Boston might be better than them. When I look at Miami's big 3, Hero, Butler, and Bam Adebayo, who's from North Carolina, small town in North Carolina. Big shouts out to Bam Adebayo. North Carolina gonna raise up. I don't think their big three is as good as Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, and Marcus Smart, especially because experience. Boston's big three's got more experience. Tyler Hero's only been in the league 3 years. Bam like 4. And I don't know that Bam Adebayo can take over the game, man. I don't know that he can. If Boston's defense is just not too good. I mean, look what they did with Durant. Look what they did with Giannis. And I still don't know how Giannis and Milwaukee's out, because now I'm about to get into the NBA all defensive teams. And the Bucks had a player make first team and a player get team. First team all defense was Giannis Antetokounmpo, Milwaukee Bucks, Mikal Bridges, Phoenix Suns, Utah Jazz, Rudy Gobert, Memphis' Jaren Jackson, and Marcus Smart. And the second team was Bam Adebayo out of Miami Heat, Draymond Green from Golden State, Drew Holiday, Milwaukee Bucks, Matisse Thybulle, Philadelphia 76ers, and Robert Williams III from Boston Celtics. I still don't know how the Bucks are out. I really don't. Let me get into a topic. We get into a topic about Nick Saban calling out Deion Sanders and Jimbo Fisher and somebody else too. First, I'm gonna get into the Deion thing. He's saying Deion played $1 million for the player they got. Which, let me pull his name up real quick. Okay, his name is, what's the top recruit's name? Travis Hunter, 6'1", 165-pound cornerback. So, okay, now let's analyze this. I'm glad I looked up his position, cornerback. Well, Deion Sanders was the greatest cornerback of all time. So let's throw in that. So the guy couldn't just decide to go to a HBCU because he wants to be a big-time name player that actually goes to a HBCU, because you actually need big-time name players to go there to set a trend. So a lot of big-name players that go. So we can't just hang our hats on that the number one cornerback in high school just doesn't want to go play for the number one cornerback of all time and better his game. It can't just be that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm calling bullshit, horse shit on Nick Saban on that. And as far as Jimbo Fisher goes, okay, yeah, Jimbo Fisher might have paid some players. He might have lined up some deals and stuff. But this idea that Alabama has gotten all the top defensive players and running backs and wide receivers for the last 10 years without breaking any rules, without like bribing and offering money, is horseshit. It's bogus. It's hypocritical. There's no way you dominate that long just because everybody just wants to go play with Nick Saban. Like, this is the problem I have with that. Alabama is a shitty ass state. Shitty ass state, shitty weather, shitty poor. It's shitty as fuck. Nobody's running. Alabama is like, in Mississippi are the last two states that people are running to move to. Nobody's leaving any other state to move to Alabama unless it's probably Mississippi. We got to stop it, man. They're fucking been dirt poor forever. Shitty ass states. There's nothing. I mean, you're going to tell me that Alabama's they're just getting all the great recruits over California and Florida schools who's probably got more money too and better weather. Stop it. All football players and athletes aren't picking teams just because somebody's coaching or because the team is known for winning. A lot of them go off other things, like is it a party school? What's the weather like? The locale? All those kind of things, you know. Yeah, I'm calling hypocrite on Nick Saban. I'm calling bullshit. I'm calling a horse shit. Before we get into my topics of the day, which is going to be conspiracy theories, I'm going to go over some conspiracy theories, give you my take and my opinion on which ones I think are complete horse shit and bullshit and which ones might have some validity to them. But before we do that, here's a word from one of our sponsors.
Are you a musician looking for music marketing and promotion? Then look no further than Promo Palace LLC, your one-stop shop for all music promotion services. Services include Spotify playlist pitching, YouTube video promotion, record pool promotion, blog placements, radio airplay promotion, SoundCloud promotion, and much more. With over 2,000 customers and over 10 years of experience in online promotion, Promo Palace LLC is a company you can trust. For more info, please go to promopalace.biz. See you there.
That's right. Get marketing promotions from Promo Palace LLC at promopalace.biz. Promote your music, product, brand, and service. Get SEO, press releases, blog placements, record pool placements, playlist pitching, Instagram influencers, TikTok influencers, and much, much more. Let me get into some 36 of the most popular conspiracy theories. Okay. And actually, hold up. Actually, I just ain't the one I want to look at either. I'm gonna go off of all right. Possibly, more likely, but I don't know if I believe we did it in the time we said we did. That's my problem. I don't know we did it in the time we said we did it because we were competing with Russians to do it. Did the Russians ever land anybody man on the moon? I don't know. I have to let's see. Let me Google that. Land a man on the moon. Okay, well, that's the thing. The first human-made object that touched the moon was Soviet Union's Luna 2 but I don't think any. It doesn't seem like any. I can't find anything saying any Russian landed and walked on the moon. They got something and landed on the moon before we ever did, and we felt like we had to get one up them. I wouldn't be surprised if it was movie propped at that time and faked, and we probably went there then. And I also wouldn't be shocked if we did land on the moon then. So I'm saying 50-50 on that one. Matter of fact, let me pull up. Let's see. Let me. Conspiracy. Most famous conspiracy theories. All right, 13 of the best. Just don't. All right, so the 9/11 conspiracy. Really shouldn't touch this one. Just with it. It was clearly an inside job, but who was involved? No, there's no. I just find it very unrealistic to believe that 4 planes get hijacked at the same time by 4 different people with knives. And just the probability of the success of that just doesn't seem realistic at all, man. It doesn't seem realistic that they were 100% successful in hijacking all the planes, pretty much. That's the part I have a problem with. So I feel like somebody was in on it, whether it was pilots, they paid off pilots or stewardesses, or I just feel like for that to go happen the way it did, it had to have been planned for an awful long time, and you had to pay off an awful lot of people to get it done. So I clearly think there was some kind of inside job. Princess Di's death. I've been hit by a car before, so when you talk about car wrecks and get hit by car stuff, I can relate to I've been hit by a car, so that's an accident with the car, even though I wasn't driving. Do I think she was possibly murdered? Like I definitely think that somebody has rigged a car before, like cut a brake light, not brake light, but cut brake lines or something before that's caused somebody to get into intentional accident and possibly die. I do believe that many people try to kill people and assassinate people and make it look accidental. So I wouldn't be shocked one bit. John F. Kennedy assassination. There's a few rumors. Mob was involved. Russians were involved. CIA was involved. I can tell you what, somebody was involved. And whoever had him assassinated definitely had the assassin assassinated to cover it up. If I had to take a guess of who I think was involved, I don't think it was the Russians, and I don't believe it was the CIA. I would probably put my money on the mob. The mob. And there's definitely, screw there being a conspiracy around a Kennedy. There is no conspiracy because there's definitely some cover up or some evidence that we don't know about in the public. There's definitely screw the conspiracy. The dude was assassinated, and it was somebody big and powerful had something to do with it. So I don't even look at that as a conspiracy because we know he was assassinated. Roswell crash and cover up. Do I think there was an alien ship recovered in Roswell? Do I think that? With an alien. This is the thing. There could have been an alien ship recovered, but not an alien life. This is the thing we got to understand. We got drones. If we got drones, you don't think there's a other life form out there? You don't think they could have drones as well? Of course they can. Because if there's a other life form out there that's coming here, they're definitely more advanced than us because we haven't went there. Where we don't know where the hell they're from. We're not going there. And this idea that it's just so hard for me to believe at all these planets that there's no other life form out there. And I think we're going at it the wrong way. Scientists are probably sitting there saying, well, no life form like us, like human or animal life could, live on Mars or Jupiter. But how do we know that some other kind of life form that's nowhere near like us, that doesn't require breathing oxygen like us or whatever, how do we know that they can't sustain life on it? I don't know that one. These okay, some of these are a little too out there. Okay, here's one I'm gonna go off of. Lizard people rule the world. No, not at all. Do I think there was ever lizard people? I mean, who knows? Who knows? If there's any kind of life form out there that's ever came here, I mean, they just found out, or they just found out, but I was watching a thing where octopus DNA cannot be linked to anything on this earth. It's not earth. There's nothing that you can link it to. You can link a like elephant to rhinoceros, and sharks to other fish, and there's like so many things you can link to each other. Like tigers and lions, probably, and zebras and horses and giraffes, and they got similar DNAs. I don't believe that like all these kings and queens and these monarch dictators or whatever are lizard people in like a human body, like Men in Black. No, I don't. A sign of any. I don't know if the Mars face is, but the doorways seem like it could be signs. This is the thing. There could have been a civilization on Mars, and it could have died off because maybe Mars was green at one time and it dried away. I mean, I think there's proof of water under the ground on Mars. I mean, and according to the Egyptians or Sumerians that taught us how to build pyramids and stuff like that, they I want to say they were a dying culture that came here. I don't know that one. Philadelphia experiment. Ebola was created in a lab. Do I believe Ebola was created in a lab? I think it's 50-50. I think it's 50-50 that a lot of these diseases are created in labs. Because, okay, like that were out before labs were ever created. And things like smallpox, and even then, though, who's to say that nobody created smallpox? Now, they say Columbus brought smallpox back when he came to America, and they got it from the Native Americans, and I guess it didn't affect them as much, or they had ways of treating it that they knew about. But do I think Ebola was created in a lab? Probably more likely. Atlantis is real, but where is it? Okay, do I believe the city of Atlantis is real? Could have been real. It's very possible. It's very possible. It's very possible that there's like parts of our continents and our land masses that are undersea and underwater, and who knows if there was that much seawater from the get-go, which is, I don't think so either, because there's old ancient maps showing Iceland, I think, not Iceland, but or Antarctica, where it used to have grass. It was, it was just, there was no ice, and it was just green grass everywhere. I definitely know climate change is always, the earth has always been through climate change. If it wasn't, when we wouldn't have an ice age, I think there's evidence of the flood. That's the thing. There's evidence of a flood. They say with the seashells on mountains is evidence that the earth was flooded. So there's definitely parts of the earth that could have flooded and didn't unflood when the Great Flood came down. You know what I'm saying? So yes, there could Atlantis, or there could be some ancient cities buried underwater. Okay. In 1980s, a conspiracy around the mysterious shrouded terrain was finally debunked. The religious object was determined not to be Jesus' death shroud. That was definitely a conspiracy. You know why? There's no factual proof that Jesus even existed. I know he's in Roman historical books and stuff like that, but there's no really factual proof that Jesus existed. If Jesus existed, I don't believe he was born of a virgin birth. I don't believe he was like divine and came back to life or nothing like that. And I saw something with Kendrick Lamar's spiritual advisor, Ed Hart. Eckhart, Jesus wasn't born divine, he became divine. I could believe that more than he was born divine and born of a virgin birth. Charlotte Turin was definitely a conspiracy theory because there's no even proof that Jesus was even real. Nazi escape submarine. I'm not even gonna get in that one. I mean, that's probably true. There's a bunch of Nazis in whatchamacallit, parts of German. They're like dead. Okay, you know what? I'm glad we got in this one because I'm gonna get into another one too. Elvis is not really dead. I mean, I don't know what they're basing this off of. Elvis looked pretty terrible towards the end. He looked like a guy that was getting very out of shape, unhealthy. I think he did a lot of drugs in his heydays. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's far fetched, just like Tupac being alive in Cuba. I think that's far fetched, so far fetched. And some of these conspiracies are just like I've never even heard another link. Global warming is a hoax. That's another one. Global warming. That's another thing. Like I don't know, it's a hoax, but it might be over exaggerated because we've always been through climate change. Once again, we had an ice age, and there's proof of a flood. Philadelphia experiment. Pearl Harbor was allowed to happen. Roosevelt provoked the Japanese attack on U.S. naval base in Hawaii, 1941. Knew about it in advance and covered up his failure to warn his fleet. I wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't be shocked one bit. One thing I do know in the past that U.S. they used a civilian boat. They allowed a civilian boat to potentially get bombed to try to have a reason to go on war. I always felt it was kind of. I always never understood World War II. Like, okay, they attacked. People say they attacked U.S. soil, but I never really consider Hawaii to this day as U.S. soil. To me, the only U.S. soil attack was 9/11. So there's that. Where's Jimmy Hoffa? That's one. Who knows? And who I don't think nobody will ever know. Bigfoot sightings in Washington. My thing is if we don't got it on like cell phone nowadays, with all the cell phones out there and stuff like that, I don't want to hear about Loch Ness monsters and Bigfoot. Okay, Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated in Memphis, but some think there's more to the story. On April 9th, 1967, Martin Luther King Jr. stopped in a motel in Memphis and was shot. He died. Okay, I never knew that. I never knew he was assassinated on the balcony. The killer, James Earl Ray, was caught and pleaded guilty. Later, however, many people, included King's own children, do not believe Ray acted alone. Of course not. Of course not. I don't believe one bit that the guy that assassinated Martin Luther King Jr. Acted alone. Was just some because that's the thing. Like Malcolm X, if I'm not mistaken, was assassinated by his own people, and Martin Luther King Jr. and Malcolm X were really two different. Malcolm was more like about okay with using violence to get the point across or get the job done or the message across or for change or whatever. And Martin was the complete opposite. So I know they were definitely assassinated for two different reasons. And definitely there's no way that there was not more people behind it. Miss UFO sighting in Mississippi. I don't know enough. Can't believe that all these planets. Oh, you know what? I got one. My favorite one of all time. Who built the pyramids? Who built the pyramids? I mean, I went over all this. I've watched the videos, went over all the evidence. Like, first of all, where did they get these ton stones in the middle of the desert? They weigh like 2 tons, I think. One stone weighs like 2 tons or a ton. Where did they get a 1 ton, 2 ton stone in the middle of the desert? And the place they would have to get it from means they couldn't drag it. They wouldn't be able to drag it up the desert. So apparently they use boats. But then I think like, okay, they didn't have steel boats in Egypt. They probably had some amazing boats because the Egyptians were like supplying grain to half the damn world, if not all the world. But they didn't have steel boats. So they didn't have no boat that could carry a ton. A ton. Like, and let's look this up. What's the most weight a boat can carry? What's the maximum load total weight for a boat carrier, including people, equipment? Like a 12-foot boat can only carry 425 pounds. And I'm not talking, I'm looking like steel boats. Cargo ship. Maximum weight on a cargo ship. Damn, it ain't pulling up. Okay, 44,000 pounds. Okay, the maximum gross weight of a container cannot exceed 67,000 pounds. Okay, I mean, How many pounds in a ton? So it's 2,000 pounds. I mean, like, there's no wooden boats that could carry 4,000 pounds. There's not. I don't see that. I don't see wooden boats carrying 4,000 pounds. A wooden boat carry 4,000 pounds. I don't know, man. I don't see it. Then they had to lift these jokers up with ropes and elephants and bare hands. I just strongly believe, man, like somebody helped them. I mean, we're in the greatest technological advancement of all time. There's not a crane on earth that could pick up. That's the thing. There's not a crane on earth that could pick up one of those stunts. And a crane is one of the most powerful tools we have. Cranes are picking up. The crane could pick up a freaking, the little tractor trailer things and put them on boats, but it can't pick up one of those rocks off Egyptian pyramids. It's got to tell you something. They had some kind of technology or access to it or something that I feel like was really, really advanced. I don't think they did magic or abracadabra and hocus pocus and nothing of that nature. So, pyramids, man. I still don't believe the Egyptians built the pyramids by themselves. Here's another one. Some believe that the chamber behind Mount Rushmore holds big secrets. I won't be shocked. Has anybody been in the chamber behind Mount Rushmore? The George Guidestones is a famous monument, is known for bizarre inscriptions, which led to a number of conspiracy theories. I've definitely seen some stones and stuff that just doesn't look like it can be explained so easy. But yeah, there's some of these conspiracy theories are just like complete horse shit, and some it's a 50-50 chance, man. And like with Kennedy, I don't know. I mean, really, conspiracy is like who killed him. Because past that, we know somebody powerful. That's the thing. A lot of these assassinations, it ain't like they're planned, their time. Just like one person, just one moron and jackass planning all this by himself, man, and coming up with this. I don't believe Malcolm. I don't believe Martin or Kennedy was like just lone rogue assassinations whatsoever. And they all died for political purposes and reasons, as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, so that's my take on my favorite and least favorite conspiracy theories, the ones I believe might be true and the ones that I don't. Now I'm going to end us off with a Paul Pickett podcast commercial, and we're going to call it an episode. It's your boy, the one and only Paul Pickett, host of the Paul Pickett podcast, a.k.a. Triple P, a.k.a. the Common Sense Podcast, your source for music, sports, politics, world events, and more. Please check me out 3 to 4 days a week on my video podcast on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Rumble. And check out the audio version on Spotify, Apple, Amazon, Deezer, TuneIn, Stitcher, Slacker, iHeartRadio, Player FM, and much more. Peace. See you there. Once again, I want to thank y'all for tuning in. Episode 145, Paul Pickett Podcast, a.k.a. Triple P, a.k.a. the Common Sense Podcast, your source for music, sports, politics, world events, and more. Peace, and I'm out.